Welcome to The Leverage Show. Get more from your business and your life. Be sure to share your business questions and challenges with me at leverageshow.com, and I'll answer them on future episodes. So I want to make a special shout out today to Kevin Paris for submitting his question, which is what we're going to cover today. Kevin asks, how do I get more exposure for my business? Well, this is a huge question that I get from a lot of business owners. You know, in today's day and age, we're all looking for ways to get more exposure, get more customers, get in front of a larger audience. And we know that everybody is out there that we want to reach. But the question is, what do we actually do to tap into that prospect base, tap into that customer base that will actually work? And so I'm going to share with you a few ways that you can start doing this right away that all work extremely well. The first thing that you can do is find and engage with your audience. So you need to identify who your target market is. You need to identify who your basic prospect is, and then find out where they hang out. Are there forums? Are there Facebook groups? Are they on Snapchat, or are they on Twitter? Or are they, wherever they are hanging out as a group, or there are groups of people that comprise your audience. You want to join those groups and you want to get into the conversation. Now, this is really important. It's when I say engage, I don't mean get in front of them and start jamming your product down their throat. What I mean is engage with them by getting into the group, the forum, whatever it is, and just start participating, answering people's questions, showing them how much you know by helping other people out. The important point here is you're not pitching, okay? It's very tempting to see, I've got this market, I've got this group of people that I know would love my stuff, and I know that if they were to buy it, I would make all this money. There's a really strong temptation to go in and start pitching your product, or using like veiled sort of comments where it's really just a link back to your website. Don't do that stuff. It turns people off. At the end of the day, if you're selling something, that's fine, but you don't want to sell it in that format. It's the reason that direct advertising on the social platforms doesn't do as well as it does if you're doing media buys, because people are accustomed to that. But on social media, they're not there for those reasons. They're there to connect. They're there to learn. They're there to do these other things, not be pitched different products and services. So you want to focus on helping people out. You want to look through all the threads there, and you want to say, okay, who is offering questions and challenges? Who has problems? Who has issues that I can use my expertise to help out with? And when you do that, you start to position yourself as an expert. Now, this does take a little bit of time, and we always want to do everything faster and have more urgency with it. It is going to take a little bit of time, and it takes an investment of energy as well. But this is huge, because if you focus on not getting but giving, what you'll find is invariably people will become more interested in you and what you have to offer and what you do. If you start helping a lot of people, everyone's going to start pointing new people in your direction, saying, oh, this person really has great advice, or this person is an expert on that topic. And that's exactly what you want to do. Because once you position yourself as an expert, you no longer need to use a push strategy where you're using slick marketing to get people to buy stuff. Instead, you got people coming to you, asking you for it. So that's one big way to do it. Now, in addition to that, a second way to really promote your business and get more exposure is to create and promote great free content. It would be great to be able to create stuff and just sell it. If everything that we could make would just be able to turn around and be able to be sold and make a lot of money from that, that'd be fantastic. But the reality of it is, especially if you don't have a name brand and people don't know you, you're not an authority on your subject yet. Even if you are, people don't know it. That's all that really matters. So what you can do is create a video or a series of videos. You can create a podcast where you're doing frequent episodes. You can create a PDF or some sort of guide or website with tips and strategies to help people. But the key to it is this. What you want to do is you want to make that information that you're providing do two things. One thing is to genuinely help. It's not just a teaser for what your sales product is. It's actual genuine help. So you want to give them some steps. You want to give them some real stuff that they can bite into, and when they try it, they're going to go, oh, this really works. Wow, this was great. But the second part of what you want to do is sort of pre-sell what your main product is. So let me give you an example. If you were in the weight loss niche and you had a personal coaching thing where you offer a 6-week program or whatever it is, and you'll do, voice calls, and you'll do customized menus and workout plan or whatever it is, right? And that's what you're trying to ultimately sell. Now, yes, your audience already has a need for it, but you can't go right for the wallet. So what you do instead is you create a short series of videos, or you create a PDF document, or a podcast, or a video, or series of videos, or whatever, and you give them the outline of what your program is going to be. Now, you don't tell them it's the outline of your program. What you do is say, listen, I'm going to give you 7 tips for rapid weight loss right here. 1, control your diet. You want to try to eat foods like A, B, and C, and give them a little bit of information. You don't give them everything, but you give them stuff that if they actually apply it, it will work. That's the important point. So you are actually helping. Exercises. Here are 4 exercises that are great for burning fat. You give them a little bit of that. Now, your full course, you're going to actually give them menus with recipes. You're going to give them, specific number of repetitions for each weight set and a full routine for a workout. So it's a lot more robust. There's a lot more content, and that's why you can sell that. But you give them the framework for it up front, and by doing that, you're pre-selling them because you've got them now saying, wow, this person really knows what they're talking about. This is good stuff. You don't need to twist their arm to buy your program after that. If they've done your tips and they've gotten results, guess what? They're going to come to you. Hey, do you have anything more that I can, more information about how I can do this even better? Oh yeah, if you want a really accelerated way to do it, I've got this Gutbuster program or whatever else. So create free content, and you can promote that content because it's free. So you don't need to be bashful. You don't need to be embarrassed. You're not trying to, hoodwink people into clicking an affiliate link. What you're doing is giving them free content, and you're telling them, listen, share this on social media. You could even take out, if you want to spend a little bit of money, you could buy ads promoting your free content. That is how you build up brand awareness, position yourself as an expert. And then a third way that you could do it is you could partner with others that have similar audiences. This is the quickest way to tap into a massive audience and customer base with instant credibility. You find other people and you establish relationships with them. So you find out what your audience is, then you reach out to people, even if they might seem like competitors at first. A lot of times there's a lot of synergy there. And if they are competitors, then maybe go to somebody who's in sort of a similar niche. If you're in the weight loss niche, maybe someone who's in the healthy eating or the green living or whatever other habits your audience is going to take. Those are things that you want to tap into marketers and business owners that have those as their niche. And you want to connect with them and say, hey, listen, let's have a partnership. Let's endorse each other. Let's share each other's products and each other's credibility with our respective markets. There's a lot of ways you can do this. If you have an online business, you could certainly email to each other's lists about the other person's products. Boom, instant sales. You can add links to your website or banners to each other's websites. If you have physical products or a physical location, you can do flyers where you enclose a flyer in every shipment. Put flyers on your countertop when, at your sales counter. Whatever it is, there are ways that you can network. And if you did this with 5 or say 10 competitors or potential partners, imagine the reach and exposure you could get for free. And it's almost overnight. Now, again, all of these things take a little bit of effort to get going. I mean, look, at the end of the day with promotion, we'd all love to have some magic button that we could push and get more exposure. And there's a lot of that stuff being peddled online. But the reality of it is, okay, the draw of buying ads is that, ooh, I can get instant exposure. But the reality is that you ultimately have to shake hands and kiss babies. There's really no other way if you want to build it, unless you have a massive budget to do all this corporate branding type advertising and develop goodwill. It's really difficult to do that and expensive. You have to show people that you can help them up front. And when you do that, how you actually then go and get that exposure isn't going to matter as much, because those people are going to be telling their friends and helping get the exposure for you. And that's a really great way to do it. It's a pull strategy as opposed to a push strategy. And it almost seems, it almost seems like we're putting the cart before the horse, because we're saying, well, geez, if we want to get, we got to give. And if we want to sell, we got to give away free. But that's exactly how it works. It's funny and it's ironic in some ways, but that's exactly how it works. And so at the end of the day, if you have value to offer, don't be afraid to share that value. So I want to thank Kevin again for submitting that question. And remember, if you have a question, share it with me so I can answer it for you on a future episode. And until next time, make it happen.